Okay, everyone. So today we have the legendary Kinggath with us for our VC showcase.
All right.
Um, and I just want to thank you so much for carving some time out and doing this interview because folks are very excited.
Awesome. Glad to be here. I'm sorry it took us so long to sync up.
So, we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have a lot of uh, fellow VCs in here because I had a bunch in my. I stream daily, so from 9 to 12. So I was like, well, I might as well have my normal stream and then just end it, give myself a little time to go to the restroom and get a drink and then come back. So that's what I did.
Sure.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start with a little apology for my voice. I just caught a head cold from the fam, so maybe a little scratch.
Oh, that's okay. I think everybody has the crud right now.
Yeah, it's rough weather out there.
So, well, and yeah, it's the weather change, right? So it's like, because I live in Alabama, so it's like 60 degrees and the next day 20 degrees. So it's like, yeah, everyone's sick.
Sure. Yeah, that's a big old swing.
So if you guys are not familiar with Kinggath Creations, he is the maker of Sim Settlements, and is that still what you're most famous for, really?
I think so. Yeah. That's definitely got our biggest user base by a pretty fair margin.
Right. So, and I played Sim Settlements, and I will tell you right now that when I found out that Kinggath was going to make creations for Starfield, I about had a freak out. I was like so excited because, well, Sim Settlements is just such a high quality work. I mean, the story, the voices, everything.
We get about daily requests for when are you guys doing Sim Settlements in Starfield? Please, thank you. Take my money. That's usually that comes up every time I stream about Starfield.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that I'm one of those people that I think I've said all those things to you. So
yeah, if only we've talked about doing that, but there's a lot of limitations in the outpost mode, especially with the way it handles NPCs. Right, it's not designed to be like Fallout 4 with just mountains of NPCs. It's clearly designed more to be a little closer to Factorio than to the Fallout settlement system. There's not a lot of support. You're not worrying about needs, right, of your people.
Right.
So it would definitely be it would look a lot different than what we did with Sim Settlements, which is not what people want. So it's one of those things where I think if we got some more tools from Bethesda, maybe open up the UI a little bit more so that we could add new things, that would become more of a realistic possibility.
So is that something that you have asked them for, specifically, hey, if we wanted, I mean, have they been open to receiving, a wish list from you about those kind of things?
I mean, someone has accepted the file. I don't know if they were happy to get it, because I've sent them now 2 mega request lists of hey, I would like these features in Starfield. Do you think you could handle that? And most of them are modding side, right? They're like, can I get animation tools? Can I get some of the UI opened up? Can we get, just things like version control, which is something we use on the team so that all of us can smash our stuff together into one plugin easily. So these are pretty, generic requests, but they would really open up the door for what teams could do in Starfield. And so if they come back and say, yeah, we're giving you this thing, it's a deal breaker. It's a deal changer, not deal breaker, deal changer. It becomes, all of a sudden we can discuss bigger projects. As you guys who have played Watchtower know, we barely squeezed that thing in originally into the 2 gig space. And you were mentioning, I think right before we started recording, that you've seen Torrin post Unity and that you were shocked by the differences. And we actually had to cut that off. So it goes to a certain quest where he has a lot of variation. I think it's the first 3 quests, there's tons of variation. And then after that, we couldn't anymore because we just ran out of space.
Right.
So that was another request. Can we get to 3 gigs or maybe 5 gigs as a max so that we can try and do big, mega projects in Starfield?
Right. Oh, yes. Yes, please.
So we'll see what they say. So far, I imagine that they are waiting to give us any more engine upgrades or new tools and stuff until after their DLC ships, right? We all know that they've been working on a DLC for a while. We had that, what did they call it? It's the Terran Armada, right?
Right.
So I assume that we'll get some more stuff after that comes out, but who knows when that's coming out? Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything realistic.
Well, you know what's funny, and I was telling people, I was like, look, no one knows anything right now. So
Right.
you have a few people that are under an NDA that went to a preview, and they can't say anything, and so anything that anybody says is speculation. But the thing you can literally go look at is SteamDB.
Oh, to see all the updates they've been doing?
Yeah, 2 a day the last week.
Wow. Okay. So it might be like, yeah, I guess we could look at like what was the frequency before they dropped the previous one, right? Like we should be able to see like, is it, do you know, did they get to 2 a day? Did they get to 3 a day at the end? Is there some pattern we can watch for and figure
Well,
out?
hold on. I'm going to show you. I don't want you to have a. I'm going to stream. I'm going to stream so you can see what is on my screen. Hold on.
Okay.
Because otherwise you'd have a delay.
Oh, I see McClarence.
Yes. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll show you exactly what's been going on. So let's see, SteamDB. Because I've been telling people, I was like, look, just go look for yourself. You don't have to watch any doom and gloom, stuff. You can just go look. So this is SteamDB.
Yep.
All right. Go. So you look for Starfield. I'm just gonna do this so people can know how to do it. All right. Oh, wait, I did the wrong thing. Okay, so they had their last update 4 hours ago.
Wow. I didn't know that it was that easy to access. I always assumed people were doing more than this. That's great.
Oh, no. And it's, no, there's like a whole, let's see, the price history, There's like a little category where you could see the updates. It's funny, the thing looks different than it did. DMDB, matches, price history. Oh, okay, here we go. This is what it usually looks like. But there's a update history.
Right below your mouse there.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I was telling people. Look.
Yeah.
So the 17th, okay? The 17th of November, they did... That's funny. The 17th of November, they updated and added something that was called DLC. And I don't know why. It must be... Oh, I have to sign in to do an older history. That's funny.
Okay.
Just yesterday.
You're right on the cusp.
So, right on the cusp. It's called DLC. It was translated into 5 languages. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, and I'm like, okay, horse armor isn't translated into 5 languages.
Okay, so we know it's the thing. We know it's the real deal.
Yeah, we know there's something, but look at the last week, okay, at how many there have been. You know, you're talking
That's
about.
exciting.
Yeah, right? A lot of stuff. And then, so there's there is a dev that follows my streams, Worm God, who follows my streams. He's like, well, those are just spelling. They're just fixing the spelling on stuff. So, I was like, oh, okay. So,
I mean, that's probably better to keep the pessimistic attitude, because then you can't be disappointed, right?
Well, that's true. So, yeah. That's what my husband said. He says
it's been a long while since we heard a peep out of them on this.
If they're like, if you keep the bar really low, you're always pleasantly surprised. It's like, that's what he says.
I agree with that. Yeah, we always internally here, like, I always aim like crazy big. It's kind of the Google calls it a moonshot, where you aim way high, and then even if you don't make it, you still land it out in the stars. I like that.
Yeah, there
idea.
you go.
But then when I promise to people, like, to outside of my team, like, then I try and like set expectations lower, because it's like, I'd rather over deliver. Like, for example, with Watchtower, we intentionally didn't put mechs in the trailer. Like, everybody's like, you gotta put the mechs in the trailer, And I was like, well, people are gonna assume that they can drive them then, and that's gonna be disappointing that they can't. So at least this way, it's a pleasant surprise that they got a new enemy type.
Yeah, right. Yeah, oh my god, I love the mechs. Yeah, the mechs they're really fun. So I made this little video about, you know, how I was trying to catch a Xeno, and so I had the mech. I used the mech at the you know, the little POI for the listening post. We killed everything. We, you know, got all stuff. But the planet it was on, so I use Xenomaster, which it's like, you can catch little animals and have them fight for you, kind of like in ESO you have pet sorks. It's the same idea. It's like really fun. So this particular planet had a Xeno that I really wanted as a pet, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so we were looking for one of these little Xenos. I'm in the little car. I get out, and I'm like, I thought the mech was going to follow me around, but he wasn't there. It was fine. And so I'm driving around. I get out of the car, and I see the little Xeno I want to catch, and I get my little, it's like a grenade you throw at it, and you can catch it
Your
with
Pokeball.
Yeah, no. It's definitely not a Pokeball. But I'm running out of it, and out of the blue, the mech shows up and starts shooting the little animal. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, he can't quite keep up with the car. He's a little bit slower.
It was so funny though, because it just out of the blue showed up and starts shooting it. I'm like, stop, little Xeno! I'm trying to save your life. It was really funny.
That's awesome.
So I'm in the creations menu because I wanted to show off what your mods are. Now, McClarence was your very first mod, right?
Yeah, so McClarence was actually the first thing we made was the At Hell's Gate. It just came out after, so it always takes a long time. When we team up with Bethesda and do something for their account, it always takes a lot longer because they have to go through their own internal QA I think they take it at a much higher level. I don't know this for certain. This is just speculation, but I assume they put it through a lot heavier QA than stuff that releases on our accounts, and then they get it localized in text to other languages, and that takes a while. So there's a lot of stuff that has to happen in the back end.
Yeah, more bureaucracy for bigger studio. Yeah.
So at Hell's Gate was the first thing we did, and that was kind of our learning experience. And then McClarence was like our second learning experience because with At Hell's Gate, a lot of that is ports, right? A lot of the art we were able to work with stuff that it had done, and then we were able to transform it into the game. So it was like kind of like that was our baby project, and then McClarence was the next level up from that. And McClarence, actually, we had to write around limitations of the game that weren't there by the time it came out. So we have lip sync, right, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And while we were developing McClarence, we didn't have lip sync, and so we were like, well, I guess we can do a robot character. And one of the reasons that we went small, that McClarence was small, there's a couple of reasons we went small, but one of the reasons was we're like, if we're not going to get lip sync anytime soon, it will get really tired to have everything be a robot or a computer. You know what I mean? Like that trope will get old really quickly, and we can only come up with so many excuses of why there's not a human being in front of the player. So we're like, all right, let's do something small. That way we do not have to keep reusing the same shtick over and over again. And that was why we went with McClarence. So I was like, this will be a really useful feature. Let's see if we can systemize it. And we had great artists that could do a cool new suit, because like you guys could probably see in the suit there's a lot of Destiny and Overwatch vibes to it, especially with the wings. And that was because we wanted something. I used to be a huge Destiny nut back before Destiny 2 came out, and we wanted something that looked a little more sleek, change it up, not just everything being the bulky suit, and see if we could build something around that idea.
Well, in Jason, I even see some Fallout vibes, really. I mean, a little bit.
He's just a reskinned version of the. He's a base one, but I'm sure I think the gold highlights on there were to match it was just to kind of give like an overall vibe to the creation, like something like the gold coloration you'll see we use throughout, right? It's in the logo, it's in the elements of the suit and the default skin, things like that. So that was just, I think, an artistic choice to try and give it all kind of some cohesion. We actually talked about, and we might still patch this in. So do you know the first quest you do for Jason, where you have to like run around the planet and find the alien materials?
Yeah.
Well, because some people start this quest immediately in a new playthrough, they don't have money for a car yet. And that quest is brutal if you don't have a car.
Oh
right?
my gosh,
it's so far you have to travel. So we joked that we should do a McClarence skin for the buggy and like do it that color style, and then he could just be like, here, you can borrow my car.
That would be brilliant. Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be a lot of fun, actually.
So we joked about that. So that might show up in a patch one day. Usually what we end up doing for our stuff is after it's out there, we'll do a few bug fix patches, and then we keep close eye on our Discord and our forums for more bugs, and we keep a tracker internally. And then eventually we have to move on, just because this is like, it's a business now. Like I have a staff of 10 people. Like we can't just stay on one thing forever, or I will have to not be able to pay everybody anymore.
Right.
So what we try and do is every time we come back to a game to do a thing, then we will do another round of bug fixes on everything else that's out, see if there's ways that we can punch them up a little bit. And so like we're finishing up another Skyrim thing right now, so most likely the people will see like a Bard's College and a East Empire expansion patch for each of those, with some bug fixes and maybe some tie-ins to the new thing. And then when we come back to Starfield, we'll end up doing the same for McClarence and Watchtower. And that would be the time frame where you might see suddenly Jason's offering you a free card or borrow for a mission.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, let me search for at Hell's Gate. Let's see.
Sure.
Okay, so Xenomaster, I don't know if you've ever played with it, but he actually even has a patch where you can catch those creatures.
The demons?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's kind of brilliant, actually. So
yeah, those creatures came out really cool. So our primary 3D artist, he goes by Shadow online, and he really likes doing creature work. So
well, yeah, you can tell.
We're always limited by, in all the games, like we can't do custom behaviors and skeletons easily. We can do kind of janky approximations, and we sometimes do stuff with that, but as far as doing like full-blown new creatures, it's always a limitation. And so this was his chance to flex a little bit with taking existing creatures and being like, how can I make them look like, you want that, because the Doom, especially the modern Doom aesthetic, I mean even the old ones, but especially the newer ones, it's that mix of like body horror and some cybernetics. And so it was like, how can we pull that off with the aliens that we have? Yeah, I think you did a great job.
So we have people asking questions. Oh, well, first of all,
Robin, we're live. I assume we were recording offline.
We are live.
Hello,
Robin.
everybody.
Yeah, we're on Twitch right now. So
nice.
Robin says, "Please give us the free car." Oh my God, it is brutal. So yeah, you have people happy about that.
It's on our wish list too. We keep what we call our feature creep list, or stretch goals, which is like all the stuff that we would love to get. That would be like, all right, if we treat it one of two ways. One is if team members, so like we have, we'll when we scope out a project, it's like, okay, we got 10 people, here are their skills, what can we do with that in a certain amount of time, and then once we get going, we often are like, oh man, that's so cool, we should do this too, we should do that too. But then then we have to be realistic about like what is feasible to do, because like I could do almost anything in these games, but like how long will it take? Like I've been working on Sim Settlements 2 for 6 years now, and I'm still not done with some of the features I've tried to put in there. So it's like at some point you got to just like be realistic. So but what we end up doing is we have a stretch goal list of like, here's the things that we would really like to have that would feel really good, and if the person who's responsible for that gets done with their other work early while everyone else is still finishing, they can start tackling that list. And then that list, after we release, becomes the post-launch wish list. So like the car's on there. There's actually a bunch of stuff on there for McClarence and for Watchtower.
Oh, great. Yeah.
At Hell's Gate, not so much. Unfortunately, the stuff that we released through Bethesda, like we can't even, so far, we haven't even gotten them to like accept bug fix patches from us. And I think it's because it's such a pain with the translation. So
okay.
So when you localize, you change the way the plugin works, and then all of the string files, which are like what you see on screen for text, like the names of your items, the quest names, the objectives, anything that's like a piece of text, right? And if we edit anything in the ESM, they have to do this extra process. Then they have to re-export all of the text strings, and then they have to run those back through their localization team. So it is a giant headache to patch anything for Bethesda. Again, this is speculation. I don't want to like throw Bethesda under the bus here. This is my assumption of why we can't really patch the stuff they released that. But that also is why I'm glad that they put it through so much more QA. And we try to put it through so much more QA too. Like we run stuff that we're going to run through them through the ringer, because it's just like we may not get another bite at the apple, right? Like whereas our own stuff, we know we can patch it again. That's not to say we don't QA it. That was one of the first people I hired, was a full-time QA person, because I think especially in the VC program where you're selling things, I think it is very important that all of us take it seriously. I'm not just talking about our team, but like everybody in the VC program, take it seriously and treat it like a product, right? You're
Right.
like, people are giving you money. It needs to function. You need to deliver on what your description says you're giving them.
Yeah.
And so the Bethesda stuff like at SSK is a little more, we can't really have a wish list for it, I guess is my over-explained point here. We can't have a wish list for that, but we can for the other things.
Huh. Well, one thing I really appreciate about your stuff is the music. Music means a lot to me, and let me tell you what, Watchtower in particular, man, it is tense. Like there are parts. Wow.
Jacob McNatt is our composer. He works on our stuff now full time. He was just doing piecemeal stuff for us, but now he does all of our sound design. He does our music, and he's brilliant. If you go to, I believe it's just jacobmcnatt.com, you can find a lot of his stuff. And why we found him, a lot of his stuff on his website was very Skyrim themed. Like you could tell he was very inspired by Jeremy Soule. So we're like, oh, this guy's fantastic. So we asked him to work with us on Bards. He wrote a lot of the music for that.
Wow.
And then one day I asked him, I was like, what are your thoughts on Mick Gordon? And he's like, I freaking love Mick Gordon. That guy's a genius. And I was like, here's a challenge for you. I want you to take, I'm trying to remember what song we did. We took one of the most famous Doom songs, like one of the ones that's in all the memes. And I was like, can you make it sound like Enon Zur made that song? And he's like, let me see what I can do. And that's how we got. So in At Hell's Gate, when you do the, once you pick up the Doom armor, it plays a song. And it's like, he imagined, what if Enon Zur was covering God, what is that track from Doom? Why can't I think of the name of it? It's going to drive me nuts. I got to look it up. Hold on a second. I actually have it. So I love that song so much. I actually have it on my Steam Deck. Or not my Steam Deck. What do you call these little things with all the buttons that we have?
Computers?
No. The little Elgato thing.
Oh, Super Gore Nest? Is that
Stream Deck? That's
oh, Stream Deck.
Hold on, let me see here. Doom meme song. What is that called? I can't remember the name of the song.
Is it
the only thing
Gore
they fear is
Nest? Somebody's...
the only thing they fear is you.
Oh, okay.
So he did a cover of that as if Enon Zur was doing it, and then we put that into that, and then I was like, oh my god, this guy's amazing. So then we offered him a job after that, and then it was like, now he likes to score everything. So like the trailer for Watchtower, total custom track that he wrote for, like, him and the trailer designer like worked together to come up with that track. And then throughout the thing, throughout Watchtower, like every major moment, every dungeon has its own music. He's great, fantastic.
Yeah, I love even the first one. That's when I was really like, wow, this is pretty neat. And the level design too. That's and the decorating that's in like the places. I am one of those people who will literally crouch down and look at your baseboards.
Oh wow! Okay,
what
you're gonna find the cracks you're gonna find the seams in our space. Have you found any openings to the void? Have we missed anything?
No, I haven't. So
nice. Good job, Peter.
If I did, I would tell you that. So.
For me, my pet peeve is Z fighting, and our main QA Kaylee is really adamant about holes to the void. Very good on cover those. Every time I see Z fighting when we're doing playtesting, I'm like, somebody fix that right now. Like that, it makes me cringe so hard.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, and that's actually what's gonna make me end up finally learning Blender and stuff. So, because I want to be able to get rid of all that that's in the base assets. I want to be able to get.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, learn some Blender. That's a good skill to have.
Well, I actually even have a book now because there's something in particular I want to make. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm actually getting a second degree in studio art, but game design is the thing, and I'm taking 400 level classes at this point. And
what's your first degree in?
Teaching elementary education.
Oh, okay. Elementary education to game dev. That's a transition right there. I've never heard.
Well, you know what's funny is, you know what I ended up teaching? Computers and art.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So not that big of a leap.
No.
You're in the field. You're in the field indirectly.
So if you ever I made the fireside mod, and to make all those homemade fireplaces. To me,
Yeah.
that was like the culmination of computers and art. I mean, it was just so much fun to kit bash that stuff, and I just love it. Just absolutely.
How do you feel about the? Actually, I should ask you this: have you done any? And I apologize that I'm not super familiar with your work.
That's okay.
Have you done anything in Fallout or Skyrim?
Not yet,
Or
but
any?
I'm thinking about doing some stuff for Fallout for sure.
Okay, and I was just curious what your thoughts are on the Starfield creation kit versus the others, because there's like massive differences between each of them, and Starfield was a tough one to get used to. I don't know how you felt about the learning the toolkit.
At the very beginning, it's tough. It's like
Yeah.
really tough because it doesn't seem like any of it is terribly, I don't know how you say it, just like intuitive, I guess.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and then there seems to be a lot of hidden things too, like the inspector. Like there's just like,
Oh my
just
gosh.
this asshole has random stuff hidden on this extra tab that it's not. You'd assume that everything would be on the form when you double click it, and it's like, nope, there's a whole secret extra world that anything could be hidden.
Well, I would really like to, you know what I would really like? I want some kind of cleaner function added to the CK like Xedit has. That's
Yeah.
what I really want. That's my wish list.
Yeah, that would be nice. There's it's funny that there's so many community tools. Like sometimes when I'm talking to people at Bethesda, like trying to solve a problem, or they're asking me to create something for our plugin or whatever, like to get them an asset or something, and I always will tell them about some of the community tools they have, and they're like, "Oh man, it's so much harder for us to do that." And it's like, because we're working from the outside, we have infinite time, right, as modders, whereas like they're building the ship as they're flying it, and so they have to. This is how all develop. I mean, I'm a professional developer, and I know this is not just a games industry thing. This is just life in software dev. Is you kind of build the tools you need as you need them, and they're very makeshifty because you're only going to need them for the length of that project.
Right.
And so, like, we have so much better on some ends. Like, they have better tools in the sense that they have access to all of the licensed stuff. But on the community side, we tend to have better tools because we know how the game works as it's going to work at the end, right? Like we have the game's already out. There's no more major systems being changed. We can make tools that work in that scenario, and we build them to make our lives easier for the long term. Whereas when you're doing game dev, you're just doing tools to survive and just like make it slightly less awful. So a lot of the tools we have right now on our end are way better than what Bethesda gets during development of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they would love that too, but it's probably too late, right? Like they're already,
trying to redo the engine, I guess. I mean, or add to it. What's funny is all the classes that I've been taking, I've been doing my stuff in Unity and Unreal. So
how do you like that?
I prefer Unreal over Unity, I would say. It's
more visually driven, yeah.
It's more visually driven. Yeah, definitely. I don't know, it just seems, you know how Mac is just kind of like real intuitive and stuff, like, and you can just drag and drop and do that kind of stuff. That Unreal is kind of like that.
Okay.
And what's funny,
for artists probably,
and it's very logical.
Okay.
Have you messed with it at all? Have you messed with Unreal?
So I've done a couple projects in each. So my big experience with Unreal is a few of us from the Sim Settlements team we decided we were going to do, that was a fancy noise. We were going to do a game jam, and we're like, let's just pick an engine and just figure it out that weekend, right? Like we set ourselves up to failure. So we're like, let's do Unreal. And so we were just like, basically just spent the whole weekend smashing our heads against Unreal, trying to make anything work at all. Like we ended up not even submitting because the thing we made was so stupid and not cohesive. Like I was so lost, and I was supposed to be project lead. Like if any of you guys has seen our the marathon streams we do for the charity and
Yep.
Like we originally were going to do it like that, where I'm kind of like orchestrating, but I was the only person who knew C++. So I was like, all right, well, I have to code then. And then so I just happened to keep going offline for like 8 hours at a time trying to figure stuff out. So my experience with Unreal, very bad so far.
Well, the thing that I love, well, you can just do C++, but you can also do this kind of flowchart looking,
the visual coding
code, And
that stuff when I see that stuff, I'm like, this can't be the future. That can't be it. Because it's not that I'm elitist about it. It's just that like that seems so inefficient to me because I've been coding since I was 14. So
Yeah.
but for somebody who doesn't know coding, I'm sure that is like, oh, thank God I don't have to code, right?
Right. Well, if you're on a team, I would say that it's a decent placeholder. So if I was maybe more artistically inclined and all that kind of stuff, and I could say, okay, this is kind of what I want to do, then somebody who does know C++ can be, all right, let's make this a little bit more elegant, And
I think my what I've seen of those I have seen some beautiful ones that people have done, because that kind of blueprint code like that exists in a lot of different programs, especially for kids. So my kids are very young, 6 and 8, and have given them both like kids programming software, and it's a lot of that. It's like you drag and drop connective threads to things to make stuff happen, and which is really cool to see that like the kids do that. But one of the things that I know about Unreal they do is you can take those like blocks and convert them into C++ and then edit it that way, which is
right.
Neat. But I've also seen nightmare scenarios where I've seen screenshots from Unreal where it's just big blocks of spaghetti. We're like, well,
I know.
Who's trying to do that thing?
Well, and not only that, but like in one of my classes last year, there was one stupid box I probably didn't check, and I could not get this thing to work. But now they've actually added AI to it, so you can actually say, hey, you can say, hey, my thing won't work. Is there something I didn't do? And it'll actually highlight it for you, and you can fix it. So that's kind of neat. That's in 5.7. So that's what I'm using right now in this class. I'm taking game publishing. So, but
sure.
I wanted to. Do you know about code.org? Is that what you're using with your kids?
No, I've used for my older one. He uses it's a Switch game. I can't remember the name of it. Game Maker's Garage or something like that. And then my younger one it was chess coding or something like that. I don't remember what it is. He doesn't like it, so he's kind of.
Look up code.org. You can totally make yourself. You can just say, yeah, I'm a homeschool dad, and just make yourself a teacher account. Code.org. Okay. It's actually Minecraft and all the stuff you get to code with Minecraft. Oh my gosh, my students absolutely loved it, but anyone can use it. I've told several of my friends that homeschool their kids about it. Yeah, Code.org. Totally free. Totally free. These two guys they did a TED Talk. Two from Iran that came to the United States with like nothing. And they were like, you know what? This is the future. We need to do something that's free, so this can, be for everybody. And they made this stuff. Yeah, and a lot of schools are using it. Code.org. Yep, that's what you need.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
And then Microsoft has, if you want to do like coding, Microsoft has a thing with these things called microbits.
Okay.
And you can literally make like little robots and stuff. They're basically like Arduinos or Raspberry Pi kind of things.
Yeah, but are they designed for younger
people? Yeah, I used them with my third graders. Yep.
Nice. That's awesome.
I think third grade was the youngest I went with those. But code.org literally has curriculum for pre-kindergarten that you can do on an iPad. That's it starts out mostly with logic, Yeah. But yeah, definitely
awesome.
Check that.
Yeah, no, I love trying to get my kids into anything engineering. Like that seems like a safe space to be. Although at the same time, I would also be these days. I'd be totally happy if my kids were like, I want to be a plumber or electrician, because we need more of those in the world, man. There's just not enough of them.
Well, what's funny about that is my daughter went to welding school and
nice.
Makes twice the amount. She makes twice as much money as my highest income as I ever made as a teacher.
That's crazy.
And she's 25.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like for my generation, there was a demonization of the trade skills where we're like, oh, you don't want to end up being that, right? So you need to go to college. And then, the millennials ended up with a whole lot of college debt and useless degrees. So it's like, now I'm just like, you do whatever you want, kid. Like I'm going to show you the stuff I know because I can help you with it. But like whatever excites you, like, let's do it.
Yeah, that's great. So Watchtower, how'd you get the idea for that? I love Watchtower.
So I guess we haven't really talked about any of the creations.
Yeah.
We're just that's why I like talking life. Let's go. Watchtower. So Watchtower was the result of a game jam. So
Oh wow.
after we finished McClarence, we were like, all right, what are we gonna do next, guys? Like, we now know, we got our feet wet in Starfield. Like, let's try and do something a little bit bigger. So
Yeah.
I said, anybody who's interested, we're gonna take this weekend and we're just gonna game jam it. And like, anybody who comes up with a promising idea, we'll try and pursue that. So I had just come off of finishing what we called the Weapons of Mass Destruction patch for Sim Settlements 2, which let the player drop nukes. And also they could do we had Helios 1 from New Vegas added so that you could get the Euclid C Finder and actually just call down a laser strike anywhere in the Commonwealth. So like I had the knowledge to do strikes from death from above. So I was like, I wonder if I get that working in Starfield. So I got a prototype of what became Skydrops working. And then Derek, or Sag as he goes online, who does a lot of our quest setup, was experimenting with letting companions fly the extra ships. And those were the only two things, like, and a couple other people working on other stuff, but those were the two that both of us got something functional that seemed cool, right? Where we made a little video and showed everybody. I was like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
And so, so I started piecing together in my head, like, oh, well, what if the companion ships were the ones dropping the bombs down? And then we just took from that, and it was like, okay, this is great. And then I think, one of my inspirations wasn't actually SS2. I just had the knowledge from that. My inspiration was we invented Watchtower right when Helldivers 2 came out and blew up, is when we were thinking about this, of like, oh my God, Helldivers is amazing. If you've not played Helldivers, it's so fun. Particularly the bug missions. I don't care for the robots or the, I don't remember what that third faction is called, but the bug missions are so fun. It's like Starship Troopers, the game, finally. It was like, oh, can I capture that feeling? We were, for a little while, we were trying to get the UI element from Helldivers, where you have to like punch in a series of keys to get the one you want. But we couldn't find a good way to do that didn't feel janky, and that would, because we can't really do a lot of custom UI. I know we do have some in Watchtower, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The custom UI in Watchtower is a little bit flighty. We ended up doing the terminal as the best we could come up with in a way that works within the UI of Starfield. So then once we had that core idea, like, okay, that's going to be two of our core gameplay mechanics. Then usually the way we tend to work is we start from one side or the other. This is for anything we create. It's either we have some gameplay mechanics that we want to make a focus, or we have like a theme. And then usually I grab Richard, Sarik, and we talk about what we could wrap that in, like what kind of story we could create to accomplish that. So he took that, and then he ended up taking Watchtower a lot further than just those ideas. Like, those were kind of the starting points where, like, we need something that will make sense of those two. And then he really wanted to explore. So this is going to be spoilers for people who haven't played Watchtower, but he really wanted to explore some of the Unity stuff, some of the Starborn stuff, of which is how Torrent came to be as a central character. So we had talked ages ago about making a character that was Starborn that would involve. So I'm sure most of you guys, if you're following Sweet Pea here, have watched or played through all of Starfield, and you guys know about the cool quest at the end where you're dimension hopping. Like, that was like second to last quest in the main quest line. And like, that was, to us, was like, oh my God, I wish the whole game was like this, like this dimension
Entangled.
hopping.
That's Entangled.
Exactly.
Yeah, just did that actually.
That quest is sweet. So we were always talking about, like, is there a character that could like have that ability of being able to take the player and warp them back and forth between dimensions? So we always had this idea for a character that had some interesting Starborn powers, that maybe, because what's interesting about the way they've done Starfield with the Starborn is they haven't like firmly clarified how it all works, which is to our benefit, because then we can kind of play with it a little bit, right? Like, we don't want to be fully, we don't want to break the base lore, but we can, there's a lot of room, there's a lot of wiggle room, because it's not
it's a multiverse.
Right, and it's not a hard magic system either. It seems like Starborn, they haven't fully been solved. It's kind of like left pretty soft. So, they don't tell you, what happens when a Starborn dies. Like, they don't tell you who made them. They don't tell you, what are all the possible powers, because there's kind of implication from some of the dialogue that there are there's more going on than what you've seen between just like the hunter emissary and the handful of Starborn that's come after you.
Right.
So we wanted to have an interesting character that way, and then that led to the whole idea of like, well, what if the character could be a permanent companion, one that like follows your adventures? Because I think with the Unity stuff, to me, one of the biggest problems with it is that it creates a kind of nihilism, which you see the hunter kind of exist as, which is like, well, what is it? None of this matters, right? I'm just hunting for power, because if every universe, everything I did just gets undone, there's no permanence left.
Right.
And so one of the things that I think Fallout 4 did really well is that it grounds your experience with the companions, right? Like now all of a sudden there's somebody with you all the time who cares about what you're doing. And then they kind of took that even further with the Starfield companions, with the like everybody has commentary and about every quest line you do. And so it was like, well, that could be one of the solutions we could have to make Unity not feel so nihilistic, is like having a character who knows what you're going through and comes with you. So that was what we wanted to do with Torin.
Hope I never lose that feeling.
I love him. He's cool. He's funny though. He's like, yeah. There's so much more you could do with him too. Gosh. I mean, now is there? I know that in the last update you were able to kind of shake down and.
I still get a rush
shake down the amount of
hope I never lose
like
that
memory you were using it.
Yeah.
So are you gonna be able to add some more to Watchtower?
Yeah, so the plan right now is to get the rest of the quests covered by alternate scenarios. So right now, after you jump through Unity, there are a lot of variations. I don't know how many precisely, but it's like the first time you jump through, you have a new dialogue option when you get approached by the first Watchtower ships, where you can send Torin a signal, and he jumps in and blows them up, so that you don't have to go through that capture scene at the beginning. And then there are some alternate paths through one of the mech fights, and like we kind of want to do that to the quests and like get it to a point where have you seen the movie Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
Or Edge of Tomorrow, or whatever they can.
Yeah, I've seen Groundhog Day. Yeah.
So the idea of like, as you iterate through, you kind of get more perfect at the loop that you're playing through, of like kind of capturing that feeling to where it becomes like, okay, we got this. All right, next we got to do that. All right, then we do this thing. So, but we want it to be like kind of a little bit of a gradual build up, not just the first time the second time you go through, maybe about like the fourth or fifth time, you're like, all right, we got this. And then you just like kind of roll in Watchtower by the end. And try to capture the feeling so that it feels like there's some aggression and that like Torin's actually learning and growing. And then we also have been talking about like, do we want to reveal more information about what is actually happening? Because you think about there's that crazy realm you end up with at the end of Watchtower.
Oh right.
And like we intentionally kept that part vague because we don't want to run across anything new Bethesda adds for lore, right? So
sure.
And we also like Watchtower, the organization, being mysterious. We don't want to answer all the questions, and we answered a lot of questions. If you ever talk to the AI at the end, like we answered maybe too many questions about their organization, but so we want to keep some mystery behind them. But at the same time, it seems like we do want to, if the player's going to play through it multiple times on Unity, and we're going to have these different dialogue options and stuff where Torin does different things, that we should, reveal some more of that mystery and make it feel like there's a completion point to that. So you don't just feel like because otherwise we end up in the same point we started, which is with the problem with Unity, is that you start to get this, if everything is repetitive and repeated and there's no change and there's no permanence, like no changes, it starts to feel like, well, what's the point? So I think one of the ways around that is to have some sort of feeling of conclusion. So that's kind of what we're trying to solve right now is what
how
do
you
we
get out of Groundhog Day, right? Like
right.
How do you resolve
exactly.
it?
So, and then maybe we can't resolve it forever because that's just the nature of the game. The player can iterate forever, but we could have some sort of character resolution with Torin. So that's being mulled around right now to try and figure out what we can do with that extra space and those last two quests.
It would be really interesting to say. I mean, I kind of wish that Bethesda would almost embrace it and like let me walk through the door of the lodge and have Irvin there.
Oh, sure.
I mean, there's like so much there's so much you could do. But it's funny because you were talking about we had all kinds of discussions about like who the heck Watchtower is, and so I had just done the NASA quest, and you listen to all those tapes, and
Yeah.
Judith is like super ticked off at Isa, and I'm like, okay, Judith started Watchtower. that's who started it. That's my headcanon.
Only Richard knows, and I don't want him to tell me. I want him to keep, or you guys. Sorry, he has to keep the secret because you got it. There's a thing I've heard Todd Howard actually say this, which was like, oh, awesome.
We should get rid of a few things.
The same, which is like, keep the unknown lands unknown, keep the mysterious lands mysterious. Like this idea of if there's no mystery left to chase, then it kind of makes things too pedestrian and it's not interesting anymore.
Well, there's nothing to talk about, and
nothing to speculate about anymore, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually my biggest beef with Shattered Space. Is I was like had all these imagined all these things about House Faroon, and then it's like, oh, they're just a group of tribals who take ayahuasca. Like that's a little bit less interesting than what I had imagined in my head. Like,
well, what's really cool? Have you ever taken Barrett with you for the opening quest to Shattered Space?
I have not. No, I took Andresia because I thought that's what we were supposed to do.
Okay.
It felt like
that was like Barrett.
Take Andresia like you would take Nick Valentine to Far Harbor.
No,
take Barrett.
Barrett.
Okay, what happened?
Take Barrett. He hears the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he hears him.
Oh, because he's
yes,
Starborn.
because he's touched an artifact.
Right. Okay.
So he hears him too. But that it's not just at the beginning. He has different dialogue the whole way through because he has the same experience that you have, basically. Yeah. So
nice.
Definitely worth doing. It's very eye-opening and it's a very different thing than when you take Andresia. So yeah, definitely take Barrett one time. And the only reason I had taken him, I probably wouldn't have even thought to, except in that universe for me, Andresia wasn't alive.
Ah, okay, fair, yeah.
So
yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought to do that. It felt like a crime not to take Andresia. It's like, oh well, miss out all the insight she's going to have on the things here.
Right, and I had kind of set it up, so
yeah,
I had set it up because I didn't want to miss out on the power that you get from Barrett.
Oh, right. I actually had my first playthrough. I had a bug. That quest never triggered for me, and then so my second playthrough, I bent over backwards to just rush right to that point, just to make sure Barrett got his power before I committed to that universe, because I'm like, I don't want to miss it out again.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, isn't it funny how you find new things all the time?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things we love about Bethesda games, right? Like every time I play through Skyrim or Fallout or New Vegas, I find like some random encounter or some little dialogue option I'd never tried before. Like, oh wow, they really went deep on this.
Yeah.
The Shattered Space thing, what I was shocked most about the way they did it was that they talked about, because do you know the Andresia companion quest where you find that guy in the station and they explain how when you leave House Faroon space, you're kind of blindfolded and taken to the edge of space and then taken there. I expected their homeworld to be like in another galaxy, and instead it's just like plop right in the middle of everything else. I was like, that's kind of weird. I guess they don't have good scanners in in this universe.
Well, you know what? Maybe there's something about the planet that makes it hard to scan. I mean, because it is kind of like volcano-y.
Yeah,
it looks like to me, or something.
I was just surprised by that, because that would have been an interesting opportunity to open up the lore a bit more, right? If there's like multiple galaxies now that you can go to. Oh
yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be.
I guess one universe is a lot already, so it's and I'm probably using the terms wrong. Galaxy universe. I am not much of an expert on the old astronomy stuff.
So you said that you're basically waiting for some of these new, hopefully new aspects of the game that are going to get added with the DLC to work on your next Starfield project.
Yeah, we've been waiting. Well, it's been kind of a combination of things. We want to see what Bethesda's going to do with their DLC, because we would hate to end up trying to tackle the same type of thing and then, they make a cleaner version, right? Because we are always limited with UI stuff to where anything we do, like this is why we didn't try and do pilotable mechs, because it's like, well, if you're going to do mechs correct, I think we need, you need a custom HUD for it. Mechs would be awesome to do, like the like the shipbuilder. Like imagine if you had a shipbuilder for mechs where you could snap on parts onto their legs and arms and stuff. Like,
oh my
so cool.
gosh, people
And
would
that's
be.
what Bethesda could do, but
Yeah.
we couldn't because we don't have at least not. You could do it with script extender. I'm sure you could create a new DLL. It would be a lot of work, but you could do it. But Bethesda, if Bethesda covered something like that, it's like, well, we would make ours would be just like a cheap knockoff version.
Okay.
So we don't want to do that, and so we have no idea what they're doing, and we want to wait and see because these projects take us, like something like Watchtower is like 6 months and a lot of investment to pull off. So
Yeah.
we can't really risk running into them. And then the other side of it is we want to see what kind of tools we get from them because, for example, we have an animator with some of you who play Fallout 4 stuff know him, Neher. And we would love to have him come work with us full time and add custom animations throughout our stuff so that we can have a lot of cool scripted, unique moments and have, custom machinery and ship parts and stuff that does things, but we don't have animation tools for Starfield. So, some people have figured out some like hacky workarounds with the effect sequencer, but it's still a far cry from what we can do in like Fallout 4. So like, can we get animation tools like that? That would dramatically change the types of things we could do.
Oh, definitely.
So
yeah, we have some
then,
folks in our little Discord that are doing crazy stuff. In the Dark Star Discord, and you're welcome to come hang out one evening because you can sit there and watch these guys in Blender making new parts and doing all this stuff, and it's crazy.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, and I'm sure, once they get the animation tools, it's gonna be a blow up day for Starfield. We'll get a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Oh, so something that you did, maybe you kind of unintentionally kind of changed outposts and which you may not have realized, but I love that. And right now I'm in the Stardock apartment.
Yeah.
One thing this you can't get rid of. I don't know if you know that, but I think we figured out that it's pushed too far in the wall that it won't like.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, I remember we tried to do something with that. I think I remember messing with it myself. I thought I attached like a collision plane on top of it and tried to make that scrappable, but I think it was one of those things we tried. It was like I was messing with like 2 days before launch, and it was like, all right, we can't keep messing with this because I'm gonna end up breaking our QA process. Yeah,
break up something else. But keywording the items to the builder has like folks are doing all that now. Like that when they're making the player homes, which I think is great, because I don't necessarily want to get rid of everything. I like being able to just put my own bed in, and this is from one of my mods, and this fireplace is from one of my mods.
Nice.
So it's like I maybe I don't want to get rid of everything in here, but I want to put Tank Girl's Galactic Harvest Kitchen in, so I can I like being able to just get rid of what I want to get rid of and not have to. Because sometimes they'll have an all or nothing switch where you can get rid of.
Yeah.
Where you can get rid of everything
this was
at once.
Just me. Yeah, I think we were just setting it. I don't remember who set all the scrapping up. I know I had part messing with some of it. But yeah, I think we were just trying to make it work like Fallout. So it was like, we like Fallout 4 builders, so let's just do it like that.
Yeah, well, I'm for it. I'm here for it. I love it. So that's funny.
Now, are those floor pieces scrappable, or is that just like the carpets on top?
These carpets, I used a console code to get rid of the round rug, and and these carpets are from Betamax's Functional Decor.
Got it. I was like, I don't think we make the floor scrappable. Do we have a bug?
No,
that's
you're
where
good.
That's going right now. All right, cool. Like, I don't want people to scrap themselves and fall into space because I'm guessing there's nothing underneath there.
Oh, what's funny is, like when you console code something and it didn't disappear, and you're like, "Oh crap, what just disappeared?"
Yeah, what did I disable? Yeah. For sure. That's one of the. I really like the console command history in Starfield. It would be nice to have a selection history, right? Like, what did I just click on before? Like, can I scroll back through the things I had selected so that way I can, if I accidentally click on something else before, can I go back and enable that thing?
Well, what's nice, which I didn't even know, is that you can hit Alt and like go through all the different items, which I didn't even know you could do that until very recently.
Oh, in the creation kit or in the game?
When you're in the console. Like,
okay.
You can which I didn't even know this until recently, but if you open up the console, you click on something, and then you can hold Alt. You see how I'm picking different things?
Yeah.
So I did
I
not.
think you just roll
I
the
didn't
mouse
even
wheel.
know
And
you
it
could do.
does
Yeah, I'm
Alt.
rolling. Yeah, I'm rolling Alt, and then hold the mouse wheel down.
Oh,
And,
I wonder if the Alt does something, because I do that all the time without the Alt. It changes the way it works.
Oh no, no. Okay, you don't even have to do that. Okay, cool.
I don't know. It might. Maybe it does modify though. It might
I
add
was-
something like where it guarantees a unique reference or something. I'm not sure what that would do, but there's
Well,
definitely a lot
maybe
of
I don't
hidden.
need
There's a
to.
lot of hidden stuff in the game and in the CK where like certain hotkeys just do a thing, and it's not documented anywhere that we can see.
Well, what's funny is you just told me I didn't even have to hold Alt. But you know, the reason I was saying that is because when you do Alt and when you're trying to look at different material swaps, you hold
Yeah.
Alt. So, so you don't even have to. You just use the mouse.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
There, I learned something new. I always
sure.
learn something new when I do these interviews. So
you're gonna watch the Xbox Direct here in a few minutes, yeah?
I sure am. Actually, do you want to, before we end the interview, do you want to say a quick hello to StarCon, and I will cut that out and send it to the StarCon is on Saturday.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, StarCon, Kinggath here. Sorry, I couldn't make it in person. Oh, that's an online event though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is. How does that work? Is this what year is this that you guys are doing this? Is this the first one?
This is the first one.
Okay. All right. All right, let me try again then. All right, ready? Am I just saying, hey, StarCon, good to see you, Kinggath here?
Yeah, thank you. You know, you can say thank you for making my, our mod so successful, or whatever you want to say.
Sure. Okay. All right. I don't know what other people are doing, so I'm like, I don't even know what StarCon is. So I had assumed it was going to be like an in-person event somewhere, but okay, cool. All right, here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, StarCon, Kinggath here. Thank you guys for all of your support and making Watchtower a huge success. Hope you guys have an awesome time.
All right, perfect.
Right.
Thank you so much. Hey, when you have something coming out that you want to hype up, let me know and we'll do it again, and you can show it off. For
Sounds
sure.
good.
And if you ever need someone to test play, I'm here for it, and I won't tell anything.
I always put the announcements out on the KGC server whenever we have something to test. We have open playtesting for our new Skyrim thing right now. So we do ask people to sign an NDA because our stuff is highly pirated. So we have to try and keep it under wraps.
Well, evidently all my stuff is pirated too. So
yeah, I think absolutely everything in VC is up on Mediafire right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But for the Xbox Direct, what are you looking forward to? I think they have, what is it, Fable and Forza are being displayed today?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping.
Are you hoping for
some kind of word?
Starfield?
Yeah, I'm hoping for something on Starfield. I'm not holding my breath, but
sure.
Just the fact that maybe we'll get a peep. I don't know. We'll see. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, they seem to always like to drop like some sort of surprise during those. So maybe we'll get something.
Yeah, maybe we will. Right.
Cool.
So, all right. Well, thank you again, and this was great, and I will. So what I'll do is I will take this. I'm going to edit it a little bit, at the start and the end kind of thing, and
sure.
Take that little thank you for StarCon off the end, and then I will put it on YouTube's, and I will tag you as a collaborator so that your audience will get to see it too.
Sure, sounds good.
All right,
cool.
Take
Have fun
care.
with the Direct. Talk to you later.
All right.